Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nancy Badillo from nancybadillo.com. And on today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how I file my taxes for XC. I do want to say as a disclaimer, I'm not a tax expert, nor do I provide legal or accounting advice. I'm just sharing how I manage my XC taxes, and this is something I have learned through the course of my XC business in the last 2 years. Um, I did have a subscriber ask me how do I do my taxes? So I wanted to make a short video. It might be a little longer only because I do want to go in depth in certain things you have to do. But once again, I'm not a tax expert. If you also have questions, you could reach out to the company that I do my taxes with. They're really great customer service. They respond to your emails right away. So if you have further questions, you could go with them. I'm also going to be sharing links on the description box below. I'm going to share one link that you get. I get a commission if you click on it. So I do appreciate if you do. If you were to sign up for the software, to use that link so I could get credit for it. But you also, in addition, get a credit of 50% off for the first 6 months for using that same link as well. And then I'm going to put another link, which is the 2018 tax rules. And then I'm going to do a link. I'm also going to give you an additional link below on the listing description where you go to register for your taxes so you could pay online. And I will go over all this at the end of the video as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So what do I use for my taxes? I currently use QuickBooks SelfEmployed to calculate my employee taxes and to maximize my deductions. So you want to make sure that when you go to QuickBooks, you sign up for QuickBooks Self-Employed. And the nice thing about this, you'll be able to connect your stores. I have 4 stores connected right now. You'll be able to go ahead and connect your store. And once you connect your store, all the transactions from your store, every time you sell something, it automatically goes in here. So if you have a business fee, which is the fee that Xe charges, the commission that they charge, it goes in here. It will go and it counts against it counts for your deductions, which is a good thing. And then every time you have a sale, it goes in there. So the reason why I like QuickBooks is that it's easier for you to get a sale and for it to automatically download in here than you having to do it manually by hand and having to give that to your tax accountant. If you sell a lot of sales, imagine you having to write down every single sale that you did, the cost of it, the advertising, the fees, and then have him calculate it. The nice thing about this is that you have the option with with QuickBooks Self-Employed. You have the option to just use the basic program, which is just to have all the items that you sell in one page, to have all the advertising, to track, add receipts. You can add receipts here for anything that you purchase for your business, whether you bought material, whether you bought clip art, whether you went out with a client for a meal, whether you had to pay for parking because you were meeting up with potential buyers, whether you bought fonts, whatever it is, this is where you will go. And the more items you put in here, um, the lesser your taxes will be at the end of the year or at that quarter. So you would just go here, select the category, and if you use, for instance, meals and entertainment, and you took out a potential buyer, you would click on that one, meals and entertainment. You would put took buyer out. You would put here the amount that you spend, and then you could take a picture of the receipt with your phone. That's what I do sometimes. Or if you have a digital picture of it, you could just drag it and drop it here. And what I'm automatically put it here as a business expense. So you could put your cell phone. If I use my cell phone for social media, to check my Etsy accounts, to send emails all day long. Make sure you put your cell phone bill every month in here. So this is really easy to use. Once you put all the information here, let's say you're going to do your taxes, you have the option to one, um, download a PDF file with all the transactions, everything that you put in, all your receipts and everything, and give that printed out, nicely formatted to your tax accountant. If not, let's say you want to do the taxes, you actually could do it through TurboTax. Through this same program, you could file taxes using TurboTax. That's what I did. It's really simple to use. It took me about 15 minutes because what I do is I go in here every month and I enter all my receipts. If I wait to the end of the year to enter like my receipts that I use, I have like Adobe Photoshop, so I put that every month. I have Adobe Reader, which is another $15. I have all these softwares that I use for my social media. I also have my blogging expenses and so on. If I wait to the end of the year, it is so overwhelming to enter the information. So what I normally do is at the end of the month, I go in here and I just add everything for that month. For the month of April or for the month of May, I'll go in there and add all my receipts, every expense I had, if I went out with a client. And it's better if you do it monthly because a lot of times when I was doing it before, I was doing it like every 6 months or yearly. I always end up missing receipts, or I lost receipts, or I forgot about a client or something I purchased like a camera or something. So it's just easier if you do it once a month. Just go in there, put all the receipts, and also make a folder in your computer and put May 2018, June 2000, and keep track of all your receipts in case you get audit, or if you need proof, you have them all there. So just make sure you do that as well. Let's say once you have all this information, you're about to file your taxes. If you go to reports, all you have to do is you will go here, you will select the year that you want to do, and then here you will select download or email. So you could download it, print it out, or you could email that to your accountant. And he will have all the information already set up properly under the right category. It's so simple. Your accountant will love you for doing it this way versus you manually taking pieces of paper, all these receipts to him, and then he has to do them. It's going to be a nightmare that way. And you don't know if he's putting everything in there. This way, you know everything is in there. So this is the best thing for you as a self-employed Etsy person. You're able to have the dashboard, which kind of gives you an overall of you how you're doing for the year. Transactions is where you go add receipts. And then if you drive for your business, you could record the trips and also deduct that because you could deduct miles. The taxes, this is where you will go to pay your taxes quarterly. So for instance, I did want to cover that as well. Taxes are due quarterly, or you could pay them all before April. You could do it's called estimated payment. You could do an estimated payment before April 17 of that year of 2018 would have been this year, or April 17 of next year, 2019. So how that works basically is that you're going to owe per quarter. So for instance, your first payment will be for January, February, March, and that will be due April 17. Your second payment will be May, June, July. April, May, June, and that will be due June 15. And then so on. It will be your third payment will be due September 17, and then your fourth payment will be due November 15. And it goes by quarter. So just keep in mind the first quarter would be January to March. The second quarter would be April, May, and June. And then the third quarter would be July, August, September, and then October, November, December. Now, I know I'm giving you a lot of information. So I'm going to put this on my listing description. I'm going to give you a link of a website where you could go, which is this one here, 2018 form. This is updated every year with tax information, everything you must know about paying taxes. So when you go in here, this has a lot of great information, and this gives you the breakdown of your payments. Now, QuickBooks doesn't give you the exact taxes that you owe. It's always going to be a little bit less for some reason. I have emailed them and asked them about that because one year I ended up owing taxes because I kept paying what it said. It said, oh, you only owe $100. I kept doing that. However, it came back and bit me in the butt because I actually ended up owing more money. So my suggestion for you, what I do is I actually just calculated based on my regular incomes from previous before. So if you, let's say you make $2,000 every 2 weeks, think about it that way. Your taxes are about $400. So if you made $2,000 on Etsy that month, I suggest that you pay for that month. Let's say on April you made 2,000. I suggest you pay at least 400 of your taxes, and the rest, the 1,600, that's for you to pocket. I do suggest for you to pay monthly, and what you will have to do first before you can make any payments, you have to register on this website. It's called the EFTPS.gov, and you will have to register, enroll in here. You will need an email. You will need a bank account. You will need also your social security. It doesn't say here, but we'll ask you for it. You enroll, and within 10 days, you're going to get a letter. And the letter will have a PIN number. You save that for your records. And once you get the letter, you will go here under taxes. And right here, it will say pay now. So you will click there. And then you put your number, your social security, you enter your PIN, and you put the amount that you want to pay. So you could pay the amount that they recommend, but you could also do other if you want to pay more. And when you make the payment here, this goes directly to the IRS. It is nice because it's registered in QuickBooks. And you get, a receipt right away. You'll get an email saying thank you for your payment with a long transaction number. But this is just a nice way to do it because you don't have to call, even though the IRS don't take payments over the phone. You don't have to call to ask them, how do I make the payments? You don't have to go to the IRS website. It's a little confusing, and then sometimes when you make the payment, it's not applying the right year, or it's not applying towards the right month, and then you gotta call them, and it's like an hour and a half wait, and it's just too much. If you do it this way, you just register, you wait for the PIN, you get the letter with the little PIN number, and through QuickBooks, every time you're gonna make a payment, they say you could. I personally would suggest that you make a payment every month. So every time you get paid on Etsy, you make a payment. Now I used to have my payments deposited every Tuesday from Etsy. What I found out is that when I did that, I wasted the money quicker. And then at the end of the month, I'm like, I haven't paid my taxes yet. And it was a little difficult to manage. So now what I do is I have it set up to get paid once a month. My Etsy account, I got it set up to pay me once a month. That way I could get a lump sum amount. Let's say I get like $2,200 for that month. Then I take that $2,200, I pay my taxes. I'll probably pay like $450 if I made $2,200. And then the rest is mine. Then I don't have to worry about, oh my God, I got paid 3 weeks now in a row and I just wasted all that money and I don't know what I did with it. This way you get your taxes out of the way, and then whatever's left over is yours to play with. So I'm going to put this link below as well. That way you can have it. And you want to make sure that once again, like I said before, when you're figuring out your 2018 estimated taxes, that you pay a little bit more than what QuickBooks says. I know this form here that I'm going to provide you guys does have a way to calculate how to figure out your estimated taxes by following the instructions here. This is how I did mine, and I was able to calculate, oh, okay, so if I made $2,000, it's about $400 that I should be paying in taxes. Now, mind you, the more expenses that you have for your business, the less taxes you will pay. So even if you pay a little bit more now, and at the end of the year, the IRS might owe you money. It's better to get more money back than for you to be at the end of the year $2,000 stuck. Like I owe $2,000 or more, depending on your income and how much money you made. So Um, and then also the estimated taxes, just in case you don't know what that is basically the the income tax that is then subjected to withholding when you're self-employed. So when you're self-employed, with a shop like Etsy, they don't take taxes out. You are responsible every month to pay your taxes. Now, as a self-employed, you don't have to do it monthly. You could just do a one lump sum amount on April, and then do one lump sum amount on June every quarter. You could do everything before April if you want to, if you could project how much you're gonna make for that year. However, I suggest just doing monthly because you never know what happens the next month, or you don't, or you might end up using the money and not paying at the end of the year. It will save you a lot of headache if you do it that way. Um, and then another thing I wanted to go over with QuickBooks, which is really nice as well, is that if you have additional business, like let's say you have an Amazon business, or if you have you invoice people and you say, hey, here's an invoice as a freelancer, and you're charging people for extra services. QuickBooks is not only for Etsy. You could do all your business plus your regular job taxes in there. So, for instance, I have a full time job as a digital marketer, and I also work from home. So, when I did my taxes, I filed my job taxes in there as well under their business, and then I also did Etsy taxes, and then I also did on top of that my freelance that I do. So you are able to do multiple streams of income, and do multiple taxes in there, and they will do it separate based on your business, and it's really really nice. It's really easy to use. um, and the thing is that I know that this is not a subject that everybody wants to talk about, and it's kind of like one of those like, I hate taxes. I do myself don't like dealing with taxes or anything, but I did want to address this because a lot of people I know from Etsy, a lot of my friends as well that do Etsy, have not started on their taxes. You know, it's like half of the year. They don't know how to start, or they don't want to, or you don't want to do that because it's going to come back and bite you, especially once you start having a thriving business and you start making a lot of money. It's just easier to just set it up, start it. If you have multiple stores, let's say you have like 3 Etsy shops, you could connect all of them together. So it's a really nice feature. Right now, they have 30-day trial. So you could do a 30-day trial. You don't need a credit card to start your 30-day trial on QuickBooks Self-Employed. After your trial, you can continue using QuickBooks Self-Employed. They'll give you a special rate of 50% off for the first 6 months. It's about $5 a month. I calculated it, and it's not bad to pay $5 a month and have your taxes covered, and then you're able to come in here as well, and not only see type in all your expenses, so that way your taxes could go down by adding them as a receipt. Then you're able also to go ahead and make your payments as well, and then you're able to add invoices from people that you do freelance or you work for professionally, and you're able to download all this at the end of the year, give it to your tax accountant, and it's so easy to do. So this is my quick tutorial on the software that I use to do my Etsy taxes. Um, Please keep in mind that the first thing you will need to do, one, is sign up for QuickBooks Self-Employed. I'm putting the link below so you could get that discount for 50% off. The second thing you will need to do is register at the EFTPS. That way you could be able to get a PIN number that they're going to send you. And once they send you that PIN number, you go back to QuickBooks, and whenever you're going to make a payment, you're able to do it directly from QuickBooks, which is really, really nice. You don't have to mail out a check, call somewhere, fax anything. You just do it directly from QuickBooks. And number 3, make sure that you print this out. I would suggest to do it once a year. Every year, just print out the new one. This pretty much has everything, all the rules when it comes to paying estimated taxes, how to figure out your taxes, when are your taxes due, how to pay your taxes. And as you can see here, it has direct payment, pay by card, electronic fund withdrawing. This is the one that I do, which is the one I was showing you how to register for, and it's the easiest one in my opinion. Um, and it just has a lot of information, a lot of good information. Is for the most part, it's pretty simple to read. Um, and if not, you can always call. They have a number that you could call for additional help if you need any. And then you can also ask your tax accountant. But this is basically the video that I wanted to talk about today. I will put all the links below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have as much as I can as well. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I'll be adding additional Etsy videos with additional videos on digital marketing, how to grow your social media presence, and just pretty much how to build a successful Etsy business. I try to, on every video, really show people exactly what I do um, and help other people, because when I first started, a lot of the videos I found on YouTube were a lot of fluff material, stuff that it's just general information, but no one really went out and beyond to kind of helped me out, I guess. So I took it upon myself to create videos that are more educational, more informational, that people are going to take in and say, wow, even if you learn one new thing. So hopefully you learned something today. Thank you so much for watching. And